Hello guys, it's Agent813. And you know what, today, after the Jared Saltalamacchia signing by the Blue Jays, I just decided to do a baseball video for you guys today. Alright, so I was just browsing YouTube like usual, and I found a video from early December on CBS Sports about Gottlieb, about the Red Sox acquiring Chris Sale. Now that was obviously a big signing for the Red Sox. But I'm going to tell you guys why I think the Red Sox are overestimated right now. What's that other word? Overrated. Yeah, overrated. That's the word I'm looking for. Sorry. Think about it. At third base, they'll have Pablo Sandoval. Maybe he'll be as good as he used to be. Maybe he won't. Who knows? Left field, they have Andrew Benintendi. Great young prospect. Really is. I like the guy, I really do. Center field, Jackie Bradley Jr. This is on the depth chart on the Red Sox website. Jackie Bradley Jr. Didn't hit too good last year, but I mean, he's a solid outfielder. Mookie Betts, he was amazing last year. Amazing. I really love the guy. I mean, he's in the MVP conversation, which is awesome for him. At shortstop, they have Xander Bogaerts. Good shortstop. A bit inconsistent with the bat at times last year, though. Dustin Pedroia at second base. Well, of course, he's Dustin Pedroia. At first base, they have Mitch Moreland doing most of the duties with Henley Ramirez sometimes. Mitch Moreland is a good pickup for the Red Sox as a solid first baseman. Then at DH, they have Hanley Ramirez as the main DH. They might have Pablo Sandoval as well, and a bit of Mitch Moreland in there as well. Catchers, they have Sandy Leon, Christian Vasquez, and Blake Swihart, which isn't very good, but I mean, Sandy Leon is your main catcher. In the bullpen, now this is where it gets a bit thin for the Sox. They have Craig Kimbrell, who had some control issues late in last year. Maybe he can pick it up, maybe he can't. Tyler Thornburg, or T. Thornburg, to be really honest, I've never heard of Thornburg. I've never heard of him. Matt Barnes, he was decent last year. Joe Kelly throws really hard, like 100 or something. He was a pretty good arm last year. Robbie Ross Jr., we know he's pretty good. Fernando Abad, yeah, a bit of a setup guy. And Scott, I don't know who that is. Really, I don't know who that is. Heath Hembry, he was good as a long man. And C. Smith, I've never heard of him. I've never heard of three people who are in the bullpen. So it's not very good if you want to contend for a World Series. Remember, the rotation, this is a solid rotation. Rick Porcello won the Cy Young last year. Chris Sale, awesome. David Price, Cy Young winner, of course. Can't win in the playoffs, but, very good anyway. Stephen Wright. Knuckleballer, he had a great year last year. Drew Pomerantz, really good. Eduardo Rodriguez, quite good. Now, the rotation is the main center of what everybody loves about the Red Sox. Rick Porcello. Rick Porcello might be as good as last year, he might not. Chris Sale, we know what Chris Sale can do. David Price, we know what he can do. Stephen Wright, knuckleballer, we don't know what he's going to do. He might be as good, he might not be as good. He might get injured as well. Drew Pomerantz, he's quite a good pitcher. And Eduardo Rodriguez, he still hasn't quite stepped up as the guy he's supposed to be. So that rotation really isn't as amazing as people make it out to be. Now, on the Blue Jays depth chart, in left field we have Melvin Upton Jr. In center field we have Kevin Pillar. In right field we have Jose Bautista. Now, I don't care what people say about Jose Bautista. I think his defense is still quite good. Not as good as it used to be, but still quite good. Obviously, Kevin Pillar, he's Kevin Pillar. Melvin Upton Jr., he is a very solid player who didn't play very well in the last couple of months. I actually expect that to turn around. Third base, Josh Donaldson. Need I say more? No. Shortstop, Troy Tulowitzki. Great shortstop. Not as good as he used to be, but still a great shortstop. Second base, we have Devin Travis. If he can just stay healthy, man. I mean, that guy just has to stay healthy. First base, we have Justin Smoke and Steve Pearce. Yeah, it's a bit of a weak link, don't you think? Yeah, not too great there. I mean, Steve Pearce, I think, is still better than Justin Smoke, but they want Justin Smoke as a starter. I don't know how that works out, but let's hope it doesn't work out too badly. DH, Kendrys Morales, and sometimes Russell Martin, although that will like almost never happen. But and then Steve Pearce, obviously. Catcher, we'll have Russell Martin behind the plate, and maybe Jared Saltalamacchia, maybe AJ Jimenez for the backup job. The bullpen, we have Roberto Osuna as a closer, Jason Grilli, Danny Barnes, Joe Biagini, all great players. And then it gets really thin. Ryan Tepera, Aaron Loop as a lefty specialist, Mark Bolsinger, I remember him from Dodger films, but I haven't seen much of him lately. His numbers haven't been as great lately. Although I think Mark Bolsinger can be one of those pitchers that just needs a new scenery. But I digress. Matt Dermody, I don't even remember him from last year. I remember him being in the bullpen, but I don't remember him appearing in a game. Chad Gerardo and Glenn Sparkman. Yeah, that's not the best bullpen in the world after the loss of Brett Cecil. Hopefully they can get another lefty like Travis Wood or Jerry Blevins or something. The rotation. We have Aaron Sanchez, the ERA leader, who was 14-2 last year. Marco Estrada, who had another great year, just a bit of inconsistency. Jay Happ, who won 20 games. Marcus Stroman, who's a great young pitcher. Francisco Liriano, who came and dominated for the Jays last year. And then sometimes we might have Joe Biagini in the rotation. That's pretty damn good rotation as well. Just like that one is just as good as the Red Sox in my opinion. So what I'm trying to get across here is that the Red Sox losing David Ortiz, losing Koji Uehara from the bullpen, losing Brad Ziegler, and then they're just not as amazing as people make them out to be. I see people predicting them to win 100 games. People are pretty much writing them into the World Series. But let's face it, they really badly want. I mean, ever since, for years, they just want so badly to have the Red Sox and the Cubs in the World Series. It's crazy. But I don't see much of a difference. I think the Red Sox are a tad better than the Jays right now. But I don't see much of a difference, and I can't name two teams that aren't going to win the division next year that are better than the Blue Jays. I mean, the Indians, the Red Sox, and the Astros will most likely win their divisions. Who's better than the Jays other than that? I mean, the Rangers maybe? I don't know. I mean, they lost some guys. I mean, the Tigers, maybe the Tigers. The Mariners, I don't know what they've done. The Orioles, are they going to be as good as last year? I don't know. And Matt Wieters and everything, but they did sign Mark Trumbo. The Yankees, their rotation has got to be good. They have got to be way better than they are expected to be, in order for them to be in the conversation. Of course, the Rays are the Rays. Hello, and I just can't name two. I can't name two. Anyway, see you later. Go Leafs, go.